Thank you, Leah. Wow, what a great morning already. It's just really inspiring ideas, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it this morning. As Leah said, I was here just over a year ago, and at that time I had the pleasure of announcing the public launch of IBM Design Thinking, our framework for creating awesome user experiences at the speed and scale of the global enterprise. And it's been a big year for design at IBM since then. We've continued to grow our program and to build a culture of design at IBM. I'm thrilled to be back to tell you more about it. I want to frame my presentation this morning around one central question. So what? Yeah, so what? So what that IBM has hired 1,000 designers in the last 4 years? So what that we've built 36 design studios in 20 countries around the world? Who cares that IBM has published a portfolio of design practices anchored by IBM Design Thinking? Frankly, none of this stuff matters unless we can put it all together to make great experiences at scale. None of this matters unless we can combine people plus places plus practices to equal great outcomes. Great outcomes for IBM, our clients, and our users. Today I want to tell you a story that I hope will illustrate for you how we're doing the hard work of design in one of the largest, most established, most enduring companies on the planet. And I want to link this story and the renewed mission of design at IBM to the resurgence of our company as the global leader in enterprise technology. The story I want to tell comes from the IBM Power Systems business and a project we call Project Monocle. Now, Power Systems is the IBM server business. This is like dense technical stuff. It's one of our core legacy businesses. But as with any piece of technology, there's always a person at the center of it. And that person that we're most concerned with here is an IT administrator who is managing a huge server facility. We'll call him Jack, the lead systems admin. Another key person in the mix is Jack's boss, Jill, the IT manager, who oversees a bunch of these server facilities. One of the things that Jack has to do on a regular basis is to update the firmware on his system. I know, firmware updates and server farms. It doesn't get any sexier than that, right? Well, this is where it gets interesting. When our design team first received the brief for this project, it basically said, we need a single-click update. Whatever you do, deliver a single-click update. Well, our design team did what any great design team does. First of all, they questioned this premise, and then they went out to find their users. The Monocle design team conducted more than 30 user interviews with the Jacks and Jills of the world. And this is what they heard. From Jack, the most difficult thing for me is to get information, he said, to see all the pieces and how they belong together so I can properly plan. What should I do next? Is this the right patch? Are we exposed? Trying to schedule upgrades is like pulling teeth, is what Jack told us. Interesting, Jack didn't say anything about a single-click update. What he did say was, hey, this is really complicated stuff, and I wish I felt more confident when I was planning my updates. Let's hear what Jill, the IT manager, had to say. She said managing a diverse environment can be really, really difficult. Getting all the right people to agree can take forever. Again, nothing about single click. Instead, our team had revealed a series of pain points, real pain points from real people. The system is overly complicated. It takes too much time. I don't have enough visibility. I'm uncertain about the steps I should take, and it's really hard for me to share information with my teammates. Inspired by these insights from real people, the Monocle design team was able to change the direction of this project. Working closely with these users, they prototyped a completely new Monocle experience. And what was the outcome of this close contact with their users throughout the design process? As you can see here, an elegant interface, a streamlined workflow that gives Jack the control to plan his updates in an orderly, methodical way, saving him time, giving him the clarity and confidence he's been longing for. Oh, and when he's done developing his update plan, he can easily share it with Jill, who can review it anywhere at any time. It's always great to see a design team having this type of influence on a big technical problem. But most importantly here, our users and clients are clamoring for Monocle, as you can see from this quote from one of our clients. The product went into beta at the end of last year, and we can't wait to see how it will change this important IBM business. Here's a picture of the Monocle design team. They're based in our Austin, Texas design studio. They really did some heroic work on this project. But you know who the real hero of this story is? It's this guy. His name is Carl Burnett. And he is a distinguished engineer at IBM, one of the senior technical architects in the power systems business. The guy is brilliant. And he was one of the advocates for the original single-click update direction. Initially, Carl was kind of skeptical of design thinking. You can see him here in this initial design thinking workshop, kind of hanging back in the back, right? But here's what Carl had to say at the end of the final playback for Project Monocle. He said, engaging our stakeholders at the beginning instead of the end allowed us to get at the true pain points. He went on to say, you could feel the emotion from these users coming off the comments and quotes. It was really powerful. My gosh, Carl, you're talking like a designer here. So remember my original question, so what? When I asked why people, places, and practices are so important? They're important because they set the conditions for non-designers at IBM, people like Carl, to see the value of a human-centered, inclusive, and collaborative approach to solving tough technical challenges. As important as the user experience our team created on Monocle is, this new way of working is the real story of the transformation of IBM. And we're seeing multidisciplinary teams across our company experience this same transformation. They're finding users, they're understanding them as people, and they're making truly relevant user experiences that are transforming IBM businesses. And this design-driven approach is impacting all of our strategic imperatives. And it's driving great outcomes in every industry IBM touches. Nearly 5 years ago, in 2012, the renewed program of design at IBM was launched. At that time, quite frankly, it was a really rough time for IBM. IBM was struggling. The headwinds facing our company at that time were strong, and our numbers were declining. As this analyst quote suggests, the market and the industry were taking notice. At that time, our chairman, Ginny Rometty, who had just taken on that role, placed a huge bet that design, designers, and the radically collaborative approach of design thinking could change the way our company works. Now, nearly 5 years later, it's clear, from stories like Project Monocle and from the surging performance of IBM in the market, that Ginny Rometty's bet is paying off in a major way. We just had the pleasure of hosting Ginny last week at the IBM South by Southwest experience. Here she is being interviewed by some of our designers on IBM Community Radio, which is our designer-run radio station at IBM. Ginny is clearly sees design as the primary force in the latest transformation and reinvention of IBM. She's one of our biggest advocates and champions. I'm just about out of time here. We're thrilled, again, to be a part of O'Reilly Design this year. We have a booth in the expo, so please stop by and say hi and talk to us a little bit more. Many of our great designers are here doing individual presentations, so I hope you'll seek them out and check out those presentations later on in the day. I'll be moderating a panel discussion on diversity in design with some of our designers at 3:30 this afternoon. So if you have an interest in that important topic, I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for your time this morning, and enjoy the conference.